It's Faith After Dark. How you doing? Are you doing okay? Have you had a good day? Have you done your best? I hope you've done your best. I hope you've had a good day. I really do. My friend Wally Wood, amazing man, just called me Mr. Raspy after 10. Hey man, everything you see is what you get. I'm real with you folks. Um, and then Mel Bell, you know who you are. Called me Bat Dad. Well, when you record a segment late at night when you're tired, and you purposely do it when you're tired and you look tired, uh, because you want to encourage people, you're getting me raw, you're getting me real. Okay, you always will. And the title is How to Handle Difficult People. Raise your hand, or if you're laying down scrolling, your finger. If you have dealt with difficult people, let me tell you something. Your life will be better when you learn people and you learn how to handle difficult people. Because you never know what someone's going through. And there's all kinds of people that are difficult people. I mean, I've got 20 here, and I'm not going to go into their definitions, but the aggressive type of difficult people, the bully, the exploder, the control freak, the know-it-all. There's the passive or avoidant types, the passive aggressive, the silent treatment giver, right? The avoider, the victim, maybe a difficult person that you may know, the gossip or the gaslighter or the people pleaser, the martyr. Maybe you've been some of these. I've been some of these too in my lifetime. The drama queen or king, the complainer, Debbie Downer, the needy clinger, the narcissist. That's rough. They're missing the empathy chip. The contrarian, everything. I mean, if you say the sky's blue, they're going to say it's purple. They have to argue. Um, the perfectionist, the one-upper, or the rule enforcer, the hall monitor in the play of life. Well, no matter who you're dealing with, there is a way to deal with difficult people. And I'm going to share some things with you that I've used for decades. Um, Number one, I'll never forget hearing in the mid 90s that the way you feel around someone is usually how they feel about themselves. The way you feel around someone, usually, not always, is how they feel about themselves. You know, when you can look at people like that, you can love people, but not be concerned about what they think about you. You love them, but another saying is you seek to understand, not to be understood. I don't care if people understand me or not. If they need clarification, I'll be happy to give it to them. But um, I don't care about being understood. I really don't. I'm very misunderstood. I'm one of the most misunderstood people I know. I don't care. But if someone needs clarification, then I'll be happy to tell them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't want to mislead people but I'm not concerned about people liking me. I'm not concerned about followers or likes on my videos. I'm not concerned about any of that. But I do love people. I talked to someone today who was dealing with a difficult family member. And I said, you know what, my friend? This family member was not only difficult, they're abusive and destructive and hating towards my friend. I said, let me tell you something. It's a privilege to be your friend. And if someone doesn't consider it a privilege to be your friend or to be in your life, then relieve them of that burden. I'll say it again. If someone doesn't consider it a privilege to be in your life or be your friend, then relieve them of that. You don't have time to waste on that. But understand that people are coming from so many different directions. All those types that I listed, there's a reason for it. Okay. Only a couple of them never change. A narcissist will never change. A borderline personality disorder will never change. Counselors don't even want to work with those people. But for the other ones, a different story. And then there are ways to deal with narcissists as well. But to help you deal with difficult people, number one, ask yourself, what do they need? And sometimes you have to ask them. If someone is being difficult, we're taught this with children. They're either angry, tired, sad, lonely, or hungry. Are they angry? Are they tired? Are they sad? Are they hungry? Are they lonely? Right? Have they gone through a hard time or a tragedy? Right? But if you can position yourself in a way when you're dealing with difficult people, no matter what the case is, and you can understand that they're projecting from where they are in life. Some people need a crisis. They're like, don't rob me of my crisis. And so you don't want to waste your time trying to help someone who doesn't want help, right? But ask yourself, do I have to be around these people? Because one of the easiest ways of dealing with difficult people is to avoid them, to refuse to get on their roller coaster or refuse to stay on the roller coaster, right? Sometimes you have to cut off contact with difficult people. They're like a dark cloud. What happens if it's a family member? Well, we're commanded to love, but we're not commanded to be around somebody. I'll say it again. We're commanded to love. We're not commanded to be around somebody, especially people who choose to be difficult. Sometimes people just need to be reminded, hey, man, love you, but you're coming off like a jerk. You know what I mean? Um, when you can drop your shield and not be defensive and not be reactive. Stephen Covey said that responsibility is the ability to control your response. If you can keep from being reactive, because a lot of times, either the person you're dealing with or a force that's using them is wanting a reaction from you. Don't give them a reaction. Don't react. Don't let life happen to you. You need to happen to life. Don't let life happen to you. Don't be a victim. Be proactive. Be a victor. You happen to life. Dealing with difficult people. If you're in leadership, especially in ministry, that's a hard gig. It's been said that the best thing about ministry is people. And the worst thing about ministry is people. And let me tell you, don't get me wrong. Love people. But in a business, you're compared to the owner or maybe the top performer, right? But in ministry, you are compared to God. And not only each person's own perception of God, but each person's own perception, expectations, woundedness, and offense towards God. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's silly. But if you're in ministry, Um, there's some things you need to know. Let's say you have difficult people on your team or difficult people in your congregation. Well, there's no shortage of critics with difficult people. They love to criticize, right? A good rule right here, whether you're a leader or maybe you can apply this to parenting, apply this to anything. Everyone can have their say, but not everyone can have their way. Everyone can have their say. I'll listen to you, but not everyone can have their way. I saw a guy destroy his whole ministry because he let people run it for him. He listened to difficult people, complainers, manipulators. It didn't help that he was a narcissist either, but he listened to them and pandered to their preferences and pretty much lost a lot of his ministry. Don't do that. Everyone can have their say, but if you're the leader, not everyone can have their way. You know, there's universal needs with people. And the last thing I'll say about leadership is most of leadership is about disarming gossip, disarming fear, disarming dissension, disarming division. It's disarming, right? And most of business these days is relational, and you deal with difficult people all the time. So, as a word of encouragement to you, understand this about dealing with difficult people. Usually, the way you feel around them is how they feel about themselves, right? You need to seek to understand more than to be understood. You need to ask yourself, aside from all the psychology or the pop psychology that you may know or think you know, are they angry? Are they tired? Are they hungry? Right? Are they lonely? Are they sad? Right? And in the face of inexcusable behavior, it doesn't matter what they're going through. You have to have boundaries. And sometimes that means, wait a second, you're not going to talk to me that way. If you're going to talk to me that way, you won't be talking to me. Sometimes you have to have boundaries that are severe. Um, I've known people that have used me through the years. They cycle around every few years, and then they try to utilize my influence or my connections or whatever. I thought I had to shut them off. No more. I'm breaking the cycle. I'm disarming this cycle of usury, right? Whatever the case is, so much is people related. Now, I've dealt with difficult people, and sometimes it was just a matter of knowing they just needed to be heard. If you can listen, I don't mean hear, but if you can listen to what someone is saying and have the ability to repeat to them what they just said to you, they will know they've been heard. And then you might actually have a situation where an enemy can become a friend. It's happened to me, and sometimes it doesn't. But universal needs, people want to matter. They want to know they matter. And they do. Every person is significant. They matter. There's no little people, folks. Secondly, they want to be heard. They want to know they're being heard by somebody. Maybe they're going through a horrific abuse at home. They don't feel like they have a voice. Maybe being around you or being your employee or your sometimes employer, that can be rough. Or being on your team is the only time they feel they have a voice. Maybe you get to reap the overspillage of their pain from home. I don't know, whatever the case is, but they want to be heard. People also want to be loved. They want to know that they're loved. There's an appropriate way to communicate to people that you love them. And then they want to be recognized. I know some great leaders. Some leaders are, hey, come help me build myself. You're just a means to an end. That's not good. That's when you're being a difficult person. But the other kind of leader is, hey, let's build together. Let's do something together. A high tide raises all ships. So understand when you're dealing with difficult people. Number one, try to understand where they're coming from. It doesn't matter if it's inexcusable behavior, but just so you know, try to understand where they're coming from. Ask yourself, what does this person need? And then also maybe the basics. Are they hungry? Are they tired? Are they angry? Are they lonely? Are they sad? Right? Um, know the universal needs. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to be recognized. Everyone wants to matter. Just saying thank you may turn a difficult person into a friend. Just being friendly. And, I'll end with this. There's times that people pointed me towards a difficult person. I was at a TV network. Oh, man, everyone hates to work with her. She's difficult. Well, I knew that. And I knew that she knew that she was difficult. But I just treated her like, I did anybody else. I was kind and loving to her. And, I took care of her. She became a friend. Another guy, man, avoid this guy. He is a jerk. The kind of guy, he's smiling on camera. And when I kid you not, when the camera counted down 3, 2, 1, he went, I mean, he turned, his smile turned into a scowl. And you know what? He became my friend. I was nice to him. And I didn't, I wasn't fazed by his demeanor. There was another guy that nobody wanted to work with. And just by talking to him, found out he was going through cancer. I listened to him. So seek to understand, not to be understood. Ask yourself where they're coming from. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Don't be afraid to disarm a situation if you have to. And above all things, love people. Love them. And you will have more success in your life, in your relationships, in your business, your ministry, whatever, if you learn how to apply these things when you deal with difficult people. This has been another Faith After Dark. God bless you.